Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David from the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you back for the pre-match pump-up for today's massive Premier League game, Tottenham versus Watford, where we can go top of the league while Arsenal are rooted to dead bottom, which is absolutely fantastic. The Gooners slap down to where they belong and Tottenham rising to where we belong. What more do we want? If that doesn't get you pumped for this game, I don't know what will. But look, I'm here to do my best. Look, I'll be bringing you straight through to the watch-along, guys, with Ben today. And look, I want to be getting you, the fans' opinions for today's game. So make sure you get on that link up in the community section and come on and have your say. Make sure you do smash that like button, guys. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're new. The big push for 100k is on here on the We Are Tottenham TV channel. So the We Are Tottenham TV army, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. And as well, what better way to support your two favourite YouTubers in Ben and Sim than getting in a super chat or grabbing a channel membership? You know, especially the channel memberships, you get access to the pre-match pump-up, the post-match fan show, and everything else the boys do in between. And as well, look, you know, make sure you do get the super chats in. It is a very, very, very good way to support the channel. But guys, I genuinely cannot wait. Kickoff is at 2 p.m, guys. And Andre Mariner, he is the referee. And look, you know, the game is not on Fraud Sports or any channels like that over here in the UK. So make sure you do stay tuned with the boys for the watch along. Look, Nuno is looking to become only his second manager since the great Arthur Rowe in 1949 to win his first 3 league games in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. And we also haven't lost in any of the last 14, or we've only lost once in the last 14 games against Watford. And a good omen today, his son has 5 goals in 9 games versus Watford. So he loves a trip. He loves a day out against Watford. So what more do we want? But look, we're not going to waste any time. We do have people in the background. So look, let's get on the main man himself, Mr. Daigle. Let's bring him on, guys.
Good.
Brian, my man, how are you keeping?
Good afternoon to you, everyone back home. Good morning to everyone this side of the pond. I am absolutely phenomenal. How are you?
Yeah, look, I'm all good. I'm absolutely pumped for today's game, as you can see, Brian. Look, we're going top of the league. There's no doubt about it. We should be winning today. And what more do we want? You know, a clean start, especially in the first. Look, if you look at the first 6 games, Brian, I think a lot of Spurs fans probably would have said, look, we'll get the first 6 games out of the way and then judge Nuno. He's already won 3. He's already won 2 of them. And today is a chance to win 3. And then Palace after the international break is to win the first 4. So it's absolutely amazing. But Brian, what do you make of Nuno's start and Tottenham's start to the Premier League?
I've been very, very impressed with Nuno, with what he's doing and what he's got out to his old club. To get 2 wins without pressure with Nuno, and it's just that sometimes it's just the little things that, and I think that's going to help in the long run with endurance, with stamina, less injuries, because they're literally training their bodies right. So it's things like that I've just been very, very impressed with.
Yeah, no, look, Brian, I think he's been absolutely brilliant so far. I really have to say, look, he's getting the best out of Sanchez, he's getting the best out of Dyer, he's getting the best out of Dele Alli, players that we thought maybe were on the lost cause train. So in fairness, it's a good start, and he's definitely dealing with what he has to, getting the best out of what he has to work with. So in that regards, we have to give him full credit for it. Look, Brian, as well, Tottenham, we have the second lowest possession in the league after 2 games, so we did with just 38%. How do you think we can go about maybe fixing that problem?
I think we do fix it today. I've been saying it on other streams. I think the first 2 games with the competition we had, or the opponents we had, listen, against Man City, we saw what they beautifully did to the filth yesterday, and we all loved that. That's what Man City do. You know you're going to not have as much possession. Wolves, listen, they had all that possession, but what did they do with it? They did nothing with it. Nuno wanted to make sure the first away game stayed tight. We know with all the fans being there, it's very, very hard places to go to right now. But this game, Watford at home, I think this is the time where Nuno can say, okay, first 2 games we had to hold back and let them dictate. Now you go and dictate. So I think we're going to see a completely different game today. I really think it would be us on the front foot. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway.
100%. I couldn't agree more. But do you think maybe we switch from a 4-3-3 and go to a 4-2-3-1 and try and be a bit more attacking today?
Do you know what? Listen, the way I said it on Tottenham on tour the other day, I don't think Harry Kane sits in a 4-3-3 well, and not because of the player he is, but actually it's because he drops deep. So your main focal point up front has gone missing. And this is where 4-2-3-1 will help, because Kane can drop deep and the one can push forward. So I think that formation better suits Harry Kane as opposed to a 4-3-3. So I think if Harry Kane stays, that may be how we operate on the ball, but it may go back to a 4-3-3 off the ball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Well, look, Brian, we will take some of the comments here from the from the We Are Tottenham TV army as well. Let's start getting these included. So we have the Smasher. Says the team sheet comes out 1 hour before kickoff. It does, my man. It'll be out in 23 minutes to be exact. And don't worry, we will have it. Sometimes we even have it a minute early for you guys. You know, a minute early before everybody else. Old Soul 53 says, if Gill plays, Kane doesn't seem to drop deep as much. Couldn't agree more. Geoff Totten says, good evening, my Irish friend. Hope you're well. 9 p.m. kickoff for me. Look, so you can relax, Geoff. That's what I'd say to you. You can definitely relax with a can of beer or something. We have Sean Butler. He says, Brian, you make a good point. Smart Donut says, maybe Delhi can play as a shadow striker. Couldn't agree more. And we have Darren Belverstone says, we need to stop concerning ourselves with what the Gooners are doing and concentrate on our own performances. Yeah, no, look, I agree with that. At the same time, though, it's always nice to have a laugh at them. That's one thing I will say to you. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a laugh at the Gooners. Yeah. Definitely nothing wrong with that. But look, Brian, you know, just before we get into, like, you know, what I'm going to get your thoughts on the starting lineup, I do want to know, and I know you were a big fan of him and everything else. If Danny Rose does start, I reckon he'll be in contention after he's man the match display in the Carabao Cup during the week. What sort of reception do you think he'll get from Spurs fans?
He should get, from what I know, he should get a standing ovation. Listen, Danny Rose, and as I spoke to, I think on your channel as well, I know his dad rather well, and I've watched games with him. Danny Rose loves this football club. He absolutely loves Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, when he did that article for The Sun, that was a stupid thing. He realises it, and I think the whole world realises it. He's always given blood, sweat, and tears for Tottenham. He'll go down in folklore for a certain volley he scored against a certain Minnows in the 9th minute of his debut. And the way it ended, it was poor. And the one thing with Danny is he's very outspoken, like a lot of us YouTubers, like a lot of people in life. He's very, very outspoken and will say it how it is. And he's also, like me, had to suffer I don't know how deep that went, but the mental health issues. And nowadays, people don't realise, I mean, mental health plays such a huge effect, and especially when you're in a group like a football team where you're in the public eye and it's very, very... So listen, he deserves a standing ovation, and I think he'll get one. But the one I want to talk about, you remember one of the comments out, and it was a great comment about Dele Alli being the support striker. This is what we've got to come to with Dele. Now, everyone knows I haven't been Dele's hugest fan over the last few seasons, but he's played well now. But what we've got to do with Dele is he either this runner that Nuno's trying to make him, which he has played phenomenally well, covering distance, or does he go back to that striker? We can't have it. This is where I think...
Brian, just to stop you. A lot of people saying your audio has gone weird. Maybe to try and disconnect it and reconnect.
Okay, well, let me just move it closer. Because has that got a little bit better, everyone?
Everyone in the comments, let us know if that
is yes or no. Yes or no, yes or no.
They're no yes or no's yet, Brian. No yes or no's yet. No, it's not. No, it hasn't. So maybe just disconnect.
I'm just going to come right back in. Give me 10 seconds.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Guys, we do apologise about that. I do apologise. I am sorry. But look, we will move on. So look, a bit of team news for everybody here. You know, Roden, of course, is out. Cameron Carter-Vickers, of course, is out. And then for Watford, you have Ben Foster, who's out with a hamstring injury. We have João Pedro, we have Shaloba, we have Dan Gosling, and then Kuka faces a late fitness test to get in that midfield beside Itoto and Tom Cleverley. Look, I would expect Harry Kane to start. Do you know what? I have a feeling that we might see Romero. I will get Brian's thoughts on it when he comes back in. But I do have a feeling we probably will see Christian Romero today. And maybe Dyer or Sanchez drops out. But with Kane starting, guys, obviously that means Son will probably move to the left if he does stick with the 4-3-3. Which means then either Lucas or Bergwijn has to miss out. So in the comment section, guys, do let me know who you think will miss out today, whether it's Lucas or whether it's Bergwijn. Or does Nuno switch it up altogether and go for a 5-3-2 with Son and Kane up top? Who knows? But it'll be very interesting. The Smasher says, my prediction is their keeper will have this game, will have a game of his lifetime. Look, what I will say is he is actually their number one choice, Baukman, the Austrian. He is their number one choice. So Ben Foster, he is their backup keeper at the minute, but he's out injured. Hilsey says Lucas will miss out. Dara says Lucas. Laprogue, RL says Mora. He thinks Smart Donut says Mora. A lot of people say Mora. Mo Tubbs, he says as well. Joe Barr going with Bergwijn. Oliver Clement says, I think Bergwijn plays, but it's a close call. Very interesting. And Cody Mack wants to drop Dele Alli. Cody Mack, get yourself on here. We will get the link up in the community section. Don't worry about that, and we will get you on. And Die Pipe says, be pity for Bergwijn to miss out. He is starting to come good. Yeah, guys, well, look, let me know what you think, because my thoughts on it is maybe that for me, I think maybe Lucas is more of part of the plans than what Stevie B is. And I know he had a poor game against Wolves, but he had a very good preseason, very good game against City. So, look, it is a good, a fair toss-up there because, look, Bergwijn is also playing well. He's starting to come into a bit of form. So I don't think it'll do him the world of good if he does miss out. So that's very, very interesting. We have Sean Mitchell says, big up, Dave. Big 3 points today. Lucas misses out for me. No, Sean, look, it's massive. It's massive. It sends us to the very top of the league. It sends us to the summit, and then North London is white. London will be white. And, the Premier League will be white for the next while. Look, I do believe a new dawn, a new era is about to kick off here at Tottenham. And I tell everyone to strap in. I really do think we are going to be successful. From here on out, I do think we're going to go very, very well. Well, look, we do have Mr. Daigle back in. So, look, let's get him back in.
Can you hear me now?
Everyone, give Brian the old mic check. Let him know.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah, they can all hear you now, Brian. So look, let's get your point on that.
Brilliant. So I just want to see in the comments where my sound went. Big up, Celery Agent. Did it go when I was talking about Danny Rose, or was it going when I was about to talk about Dele?
It was going halfway through the Danny Rose. What you were saying about Danny Rose.
Okay. So what I'll say with Danny Rose, he should get. I won't go into as much detail. He should get a standing ovation. He's very outspoken. He had to battle mental health, which obviously I know a lot about and that I'm very open about, and it can affect you in many ways. And being a professional and in that bubble, the way it ended was horrible with Jose, absolutely horrible. I mean, what a bitter taste. And then you see him even after that go and watch the youth game, the under-23s. He loves the club. Now, as for Dele Alli, it was a great question that I was just talking about from Smart Donut about putting him on the. Put him as a shadow striker. This is what we've got to try and accomplish with Dele. We either keep him in this role and make him this runner, as Nuno said, where he continues to shine in this position and he gets accustomed to that position, or we say, go back up top and do what you did in your first 2 seasons and play like you did. But this is where I think Dele started going off the boil, when we moved him deeper into midfield and kept expecting him to get forward and do everything and not commit to that. So we've got to identify with Dele, and I think this is the way we get Dele back to his best. Whether it's Nuno sees him, this is your position now, and this is what you do, or you're going back up there and you're going to stay up there, and we're going to get a creative midfielder. So it's a really, really good idea, but I don't like seeing Dele changing position. He's one of those players that needs to know his position.
Yeah.
He's the master of that position that he had, and now he's learning new positions. So it's just whether we unfortunately, with actors, they say you get pigeonholed like a movie, like an action star, like The Rock. Funny, I should think of The Rock. But literally, that's the kind of thing we have to do with Dele for the right position, in my opinion.
No, 100%. Look, for me with Dele Alli, I have to say, his stats. I was actually looking at the stats at the weekend, Brian, and the guy's stats is absolutely brilliant. His work rate, look, he ran the most against Man City, but he's in there with tackles, blocks. He's absolutely brilliant. His work rate has been insane. And for me, look, we have to remember Dele, when he first came into the Pochettino team, was playing in that deeper role. So look, he can play both, and I think it's crucial for his career that he can offer to be able to play both positions. But look, do you know what, Brian? Another player I do want to touch on quickly is, look, we've seen Brian Hill during the week. He had that free role kind of like in the cam area, but was able to, have that free roll dropping left, right. He was basically just dropping into all the space, occupying space and picking up the ball. Do you think we have a future player on our hands there where this guy potentially can force Nuno's hand to maybe play a 4-2-3-1 and play in that cam area where he's allowed to pick up space and drop into all the spaces and create havoc? Because for me, I'll be honest with you, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and I'm getting shades of Lucas Moura from the guy. Do you think maybe we might even see him today? We might see a shock.
I think he'll be on the bench. I think he'll be on the bench now. I'm going to mention a few players' names from Tottenham past, but I'm not comparing. I will be comparing it at the end. But you look at people like Chris Waddle, Paul Gascoigne, David Ginola, Gareth Bale, Christian Eriksen. These are players that I remember going to Tottenham, and I used to call them a maverick. And whenever they got the ball, people were on the edge of their seats, like, "Oh my God, something's about to happen." Like when Newcastle was at maximum, and like when Ronaldo gets the ball wherever you just know that there's potentially something like unexpected going to happen. And he, by the looks of it, he really has got like this maverick tag that could be a claim to him. I think from the two games we've seen, especially the home game, on his first home game in front of a Spurs crowd, he was always trying to be positive. He was always going forward. He looks like he's got the beating of a man quite easily. But we've got to look at the opposition it was. It was a nice way to bring him in. It was a nice way to see him on his debut. Because you remember, back in the day, I don't think we did it this season, I used to remember the week before the season started, you used to host a big pre-season game, whether it be against a Spanish team, an Italian team. And it's kind of an exhibition game and showcase your new players. This is kind of what Hill had in this game. The Premier League is very, very different. Don't get me wrong. What I have seen, I have been very impressed with. I didn't know we had this type of player there. I think he's a guy that you can bring on the bench and he can make an impact. But we need to just give him time.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I agree with that. Look, I don't really want to rush him either. I do think it's going to take time to get him in the team. But look, he's definitely done his chances no harm whatsoever. And look, Wickelini, I like to say he's a love child between Messi and Modric. He has a bit of both. What great comparisons for the guys. I'll be honest with you. You know me, Brian. I get carried away with these players. I get carried away with results. But look, that's just the type of fan I am, Brian. Another player today. Obviously, look, Kane will start. Kane will start up top.
I don't want him to.
Why?
So I spoke about this now. There's two reasons, so don't all jump on me in the comments. Now,
one of the three-match pump-up, Brian, you know that.
So yeah, no, but listen, there is a reason why, and it's not because of the transfer saga that I don't want him to start. Yeah. I don't want him to start because, first of all, this 11 have been doing very well and have done nothing to be dropped. You know what I mean? If someone makes a mistake, then you've got every right to be dropped. But we've all been talking about we could go top of the league. We've won 2 games. We haven't conceded a goal. And it's like, well, what kind of message does that send if you drop someone, especially after the transfer saga, that they can just walk back in? And then the other way you look at it, and the main reason I want this is the main reason I want it, is if you look at the front three, Bergwijn, who I've been very impressed with, very, very, very impressed with, Son and Moura. All of those three have blinding pace. And I think, from what I remember, that Watford defence isn't exactly the youngest. Let them literally tear them to shreds and literally zap Watford out of all the energy they can. And then say, you know what, in 60 minutes, once that defence is shattered, then you bring Harry Kane on to just feed on everything that's been destroyed. Now, you tell me, as a Watford fan or player, do you feel more worried about Harry Kane starting and then going off, or being off and then coming on?
Me, I'll be honest with you, Brian. I'd be more worried about him starting. Look, for me, I get what you're saying. What sort of message does it send out? Stevie B has played well. Lucas has played well. But at the end of the day, for me, look, Harry Kane is better than both of them. Harry Kane offers more than both of them. He's the top goal. He's got most goals from last season, most assists. And for me, look, I think he has to start. Look, I know the saga went on and everything else, but it's time just to forgive him, Brian. I think you need to find a place in your heart just to forgive him. That's what I think you need to do. Just for
I forgive him. I forgive him. I forgive him. But don't get me wrong. I think he's the best striker. I love Harry Kane. Love Harry Kane. But also, I just wanted to get his match fitness up. And I think after the international break, when he'll definitely play for England, and then we got Palace, the Chelsea, then the Filth, he has to start all those games. He has to. Because these games, obviously, Palace we don't always do so well at. But the other two games don't need any explanation why Harry Kane has to start. And I just think as well, because of his late coming back, he got 2 goals against the Portuguese team. But well done. I just think this game may come too soon for him. I just would love to have him on the bench and then come on. That's my opinion.
Nah, look, Brian, I'll be honest. Harry Kane, king of the lane, best number 10 in world football. Look, this guy's going to score 2 today, and then he's going to be looking for me in the stands to celebrate with. I can tell you that.
He has to have the binoculars out to find you, my friend.
Me and Cody, Kane's biggest backers. He's going to score, and he's going to point at the camera. He's going to be like, "This is for you guys. This is for ye." No, look, but Brian, if he does come in, right? I know you said you don't want him to come in, and look, fair point. But if he does start today, which I think he will, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Does Nuno then go to like a 5-3-2 and put Son up top with him? Or does he still go with a 4-3-3 and then either Lucas or Bergwijn miss out? And if that is the case, who do you think drops out?
Well, again, like we said at the beginning, I think if Kane starts, it's going to be more of a 4-2-3-1. Because, like I said, I just don't see how Kane fits in a 4-3-3. I think, I don't want to say this, but I think it'll be Bergwijn that will miss out. I really do, and I don't think he deserves it. Because that guy plays on confidence, and he has been. Me and Bob Spur are very, very big fans of him, and have always backed him. And he's just started to show. I mean, that little bit of showboating against Wolves. I mean, that little thing, like right on the touchline, mate. I've watched it a million times. I still don't know how he did it. I still can't work out how he did it. I mean, he came on in Europe and did well. But I think Lucas Moura, yes, we say he had a bad game against Wolves. He did have a bad game, but he set with his pre-season the Man City game, he set the bar so high. I think Moura plays well. You've got to remember he's dropped for the Portuguese game away. I think Moura needs to keep playing regularly. He's one of those players that needs to keep playing without a break to get the best out of him.
Yeah.
And that's why, and I mean, managers love Moura. Managers absolutely love Moura. So if someone's going to miss out, unfortunately, I think it's going to be Stevie B. I really, really don't want it to be, but I think it will be him.
Yeah, 100%. I'd go along the lines with that. Just quickly, before we give everyone a first here on the pre-match pump-up, we have Laprogue RL says, Son, Bergwijn, Moura, no team can handle the pace. Yeah, no, look, that 100%. Exactly. Look, it is great pace. It is great pace. But with Watford, I do think we need that different option, Laprogue, my man. Look, if you think I'm wrong, get in another super chat and let me know why you think I'm wrong, my man. And everyone else, look, get the super chats in, guys. It really does help support Ben and Sim. It helps them, get to that 100K as well. You have no idea how much it helps. So look, get the super chats in, guys, and get the support. The link is up in the community section, guys. So make sure you click on that link and come on. Make sure you are smashing that like button, smashing that subscribe button as well. And then we also have new channel member, Joe Games. Welcome to gold, my man. Welcome to gold. And look, I hope to see you on here. If not here, on the pre-match pump-up with, I think it'll be Benji today because Sim is actually at the game enjoying himself. How dare Sim be at the game, sitting back, chilling out, relaxing, while Ben's stuck in the studio doing everything. But no, it's only right. It's only right. Ben's got to a couple of games already. Now it's Sim's turn. So, guys, Joe, I hope to see you on here or on the post-match fan show, guys. And, of course, we are doing the watch-along here today as well, kicking off at about 1:30, 20-2, guys. So make sure you do stay tuned for that. But, look, the first that we're going to bring you is we're actually going to bring on 2 people at the same time here on the pre-match pump-up. And we're going to bring on, one of my favourites as well. He's a Harry Kane lover just like me. So let's get him on. It's Cody Mack.
Yes, my Canadian brother. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, look at me. Hey, hi, Brian. How are you?
Wait, I always get this wrong. Oh, fuck. It's too early in the morning. I need my coffee.
No, it's good vibes here. It's good vibes here today. We're going top of the leagues, lad. We're going top of the league. But Cody, I know you're sitting in the background patiently waiting and listening. What do you think about Brian saying he doesn't want Harry Kane to start, lad? Our Don, lad, our number 10.
Nah, fuck. Get him back in there. Come on. We don't know how long we're going to have this guy. We got to get as much mileage out of it. It's time to move on with our lives. He's put it to bed before the end of the transfer deadline, and we need him. The reality is we need him. We saw how much the dynamic changed between the away and the home leg against Paços de Ferreira. We are so much easier to defend without Harry Kane. It only took him about 8 seconds to show how classy he is on the ball and show how silky smooth he is. This team needs Harry Kane, and I think that a lot of people have forgotten that in the wake of the summer's activity. But no, it's time to put him in, man, right away, because listen, Watford aren't going to be a pushover. There's no easy game in the Premier League, and Kane's going to be hungry. He's going to be angry. He's going to want to get his golden boot defense underway. Put him back in there right away. And frankly, I'd probably drop Dele Alli if I know that he's been playing well and he's been showing a lot of heart, but I want to see a more attacking formation. I think Brian was right to mention the 4-2-3-1. You keep Skippy and Højbjerg as the two holding mids. I'd like to see Christian Romero come in as well because, like we've gone and we've spent a boatload of money on this guy. He looked good on Thursday. I think it would be a good game to try and bet him into the Premier League. We've got Palace away next, and then after that, 2 tough games in Chelsea at home and Arsenal away. So, we didn't go spending 50 million euros on a player for him to sit on the bench for one of Eric Dyer or Davinson Sanchez. So get Kane back in there, get Romero in there. Let's get this season rolling.
Yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Guys, we are 2 minutes out from the lineup, so make sure you stay tuned. We will be bringing you live reaction to that as well. William Kelly says, here in Australia, waiting for kickoff. Come on, you Spurs. Big up all the Aussie crew out there, the We Are Tottenham TV army out in Australia. Big yourselves up. I hope you are pumped for this game today. I really do. Look, we're going top of the league, guys. So, whatever it is you like to do over there, I know you like barbecues and stuff like that. So maybe get some of the shrimp on the barbie and all that sort of jazz. And let's really have a good party today. But, Brian, that was going to be the next one. Cody gave us a brilliant segue in, to Romero there. Would you start Romero? And I might have to just cut you off when the lineups do come out, Brian. But just quickly on Romero, my man.
Okay, I'll try to speak very fast so you don't cut me off here. So no, I'm only joking. Romero, I think again should be integrated. Again, what I said about the centre backs. I mean, you cannot knock the 2 centre backs. Yes, we're ready to give them really, really batter. I mean, Dyer made that mistake against Wolves, and it was like he'd slapped one of our mothers. It was like, oh my God, get him out. He's gone, he's crap. Listen, they've been brilliant together. And I think having Romero as competition has certainly been a kick up the arse. I want Romero, again, I don't want to break this partnership. We haven't conceded a goal. And you've got to remember, we hadn't conceded a goal against the Filth in the pre-season as well. So if you look at it, we've gone 3 games without scoring. Without conceding, sorry. Why break this up? Don't get me wrong, Romero is the number 1 defender. And I think, again, after the international break, let him see. You've got to remember, with a person coming over, they've got to get used to the area. They've got to settle in. Yes, he's got Giovanni Lo Celso to help him with the language and regular with the...
Sorry, 1 second there, Brian. Lineups are out, guys. And it is Hugo Lloris in goals, Tanganga at right back, Dyer and Sanchez at centre-back. So there is no Romero today. He's stuck with Dyer and Sanchez. It's the old cliche, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. With Reguilon at left-back, guys, he has a huge job today against Ismail Sarr. Højbjerg, Skip and Dele forming a midfield 3 with Bergwijn on the right, Son on the left, and our man, the greatest player on the planet at this moment in time. It's the walking, talking goal machine. Harry Kane is back, baby. He's back.
Lucas Moura is dropped.
Yeah, Lucas Moura is the one that misses out, Brian. Just on the bench, we have Galini, Doherty, Davies, Romero, Harry Stinks, Giovanni Lo Celso, Sessegnon, Brian Hill, and Lucas Moura. So, yeah, Lucas is the one that misses out. Brian, what's your thoughts on Lucas missing out, my man?
Well, in a way, I'm kind of happy because I've been predicting all weekend, as Cody will know, 2-0, 1-2 goals for Bergwijn. So if Bergwijn had been dropped, I'd have been screwed in that one. So, listen, Bergwijn, I'm happy to do that. Like I was saying to you before, he's confident and he needs it. So I'm really happy he's there. Going back to what I was saying about Romero. Romero, I just feel, needs this little bit of time to integrate with the team. Don't get me wrong, he looked very good on Thursday. But get the international breakout, let him get a bit more fitness in, and then, like, for games against Chelsea, like when he comes up against Lukaku and whoever the filth want to put up against him, then we need him. Then we need him, because we're all saying, oh, the two of them are going to make a mistake. The two of them are going to make a mistake. And knowing else, the time they'll do it is Chelsea and Arsenal. I have to say one quick thing on Sanchez. I said this on a few streams. Right now, and I'm not just saying this because of who it is, tell me a better defender over the last 2 games of the season than Davinson Sanchez in central defence. You won't find one. He has been absolutely outstanding, and credit where credit is due. I've always liked Sanchez. I've said it before, but after his Del Boy through the bar moment in Man City, I was like, right, enough's enough. But whatever's happened in the summer of the Copa America, he has come back incredible. And to me, right now, on performances alone, Davinson Sanchez is the best centre back in the league, only over the last 2 games.
Yeah, he must be on some of that good Colombian stuff, Brian. That's what I say to that. You know, but William Kelly says, I'm Irish. I'd be more inclined to blow the barbecue up. Yeah, look, blow it up like Harry Kane's going to blow them nets up today, my man. That's what I say. Now, look, I hope you're enjoying yourself out in Australia. I have friends out there as well. I've also had a lot of friends who have been and come home. Let me know where you are in the great land of Oz, my man. And we have Vlad Tucano, and he's saying Sissoko. If Sissoko starts,
he wasn't going to be able to start.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was saying, that he wouldn't be able to play. So Sissoko starts for Watford. Apparently, I will confirm that in a couple of minutes. The boys in the background are working on it right now. So look, Cody, you know, Dyer and Sanchez as a centre back partnership. No Romero. What do you make of that? You happy with that, or do you think we should have seen Romero on today?
I would like to see Romero, although I can understand with him having played the entire game on Thursday, giving him a little bit of a rest. Certainly he has to come in against Crystal Palace if we're going to start inserting him into the Premier League, because the matches start coming thick and fast after that, and they start becoming a little bit more difficult as well in terms of the opponents that we match up against. So I was looking at the Watford game as maybe a good opportunity, but yeah, I mean, I have no argument against keeping it the way it is, considering how well the two have played together. But there is just a part of me that thinks that the longer that we leave Dyer and Sanchez in there together, the more we're kind of playing with fire, and that eventually, you know, Skippy's not going to be able to clean up one of their mistakes, because as much as they have been immense, they haven't been perfect, and I think that a lot of the mistakes they've been making have been getting mopped up by Oliver Skipp, especially if you look at like the average position for Skippy. He's playing quite deep in that midfield. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of the times when the balls are getting past Sanchez and Dyer, it's Skippy who's the man in the box cleaning up the mess, which is great, but it does kind of limit us in terms of our creativity, having those two holding midfielders. But it's a recipe for success. It's been working so far. And I don't disagree with Lucas Moura being dropped. I thought he was maybe our worst player of the starting 11 last weekend against Wolves. So it makes a lot of sense. But the most important thing is that Harry Kane is back in the lineup. We're going to get to see the massive reception that he's going to get. It's probably going to be the loudest rendition of He's One of Our Own that we've seen, given the way that he was welcomed into the game at the Molineux. You can imagine that 60,000 screaming Tottenham fans are going to be going absolutely apeshit, especially if he scores. So I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It's going to be
Cody,
great.
It has the makings of a great day. It has. Look, it's going to be absolutely, you know, buzzing there today. Chance to go top of the league. The atmosphere is going to be electric today. And then look, Harry Kane and Son, hopefully they can you know, blow the roof off the place. That would be nice. I don't know why my name has changed to @BradHotspur. I did type in the Irish Hotspur. I think that could be. It happened last week as well. I think the boys are playing some pranks on me here. I don't know what's going on here, guys. But look, I do have 2 questions left for you guys, and then we have the one and only Jack Kanicki in the background, and then we'll get him on. So, guys, look, my 2 questions is first of all, what do you make of Moussa Sissoko lining up for Watford today? And we'll start with Brian.
So, I mean, I was under the impression that he couldn't play because he was signed after midday UK time, so it didn't allow the get. But I've just checked on my football app, the app I use, is that he's playing behind, like in an advanced midfield position. It was one of a foot, so they're playing like a 4-1-4-1 or whatever, and he's playing next to Ismail Shah.
So
Now,
he's taking the Tom Cleverley role, Brian Daigle, because
but you know what? This app is saying that's what he's doing right now. It's certainly saying he's not playing the defensive midfielder. And Sissoko can goddamn run, and we all know what he can do. But I could just see the one time he plays a killer through ball, and it'll be him to Harry Kane because he'll forget what shirt he's in, and it'll be one. He'll go, "Oh my god, look, Kane's there, bang, wallop!" And then, listen, he's gonna listen. We all mock Mr. Sissoko, but he was a great servant. Well, I wouldn't say great servant. He was there for it, but he always gave his effort. We know he wasn't. He was basically an upgraded Didier Sakura. That's all it was. That's all he was. For people that remember Didier, he can run and run and run, but he can't pass and shoot. So listen, I wish him well, just not in this game. But it's got. I know there's a few players that have done it. I'm not just talking Spurs, but how weird must it be? Like when you sign on a Friday or whatever it is, and the first game you play is away at what was your home ground within 48 hours. That's got to be a bit bizarre.
Yeah, it definitely is a bit bizarre. But look, the guy wears concrete boots, and the ball just seems to bounce off it. So I have no fear about this guy whatsoever starting for Watford today. I really don't. Look, I know he's a destroyer, but that's all he is. He's no technical ability. And interesting, you say he's playing close to Ismail Sarr on the right hand side of the midfield, Brian, because what Watford like to do is they tend to go long a lot to Ismail Sarr. And in the air, he tends to get the knock-ons or the flick downs, and you have Dennis and Cleverley who usually come in and look for all the breaking balls and pick it up from there. So he's going to be playing next to Sarr. So they are going to look to just absolutely batter us down, Dyer and Reguilon's side. And so Reguilon's going to have to be careful and pick his moments to get forward in this game. But before we get into Cody and let Cody come in and share his views on Moussa Sissoko, everybody, make sure you let us know in the chat your views on Moussa Sissoko starting for Watford and what you make of his Tottenham career as well. And look, make sure you do drop the Irish elbow on that like button. Pretend it's a Gooner fan. Absolutely smash it up. And as well, don't be afraid to get the super chats in. Again, pretend that super chat button is Mikel Arteta, and absolutely smash it. William Kelly says, I'm a Carlo man living in Brisbane. Glad Bergwijn is starting today. Yeah, Carlo man, just down the road from me. I'm County Kildare man. About half an hour away. It's a good night out down in Carlo. I'd say Brisbane's better though. And then Bergwijn starting today. Yeah, look, I think that bit of skill probably, got him the start. I'll be honest. That bit of showmanship, that bit of show pony, that definitely got him the start. But no, look, hopefully he puts it in today and hopefully we see some end product for the guy. That's what I want. But Cody, Moussa Sissoko, my man, take it away.
Sissoko masterclass. Look, on paper, okay, we can all laugh and joke and say like Moussa Sissoko starting for Watford is a good thing for Tottenham Hotspur, and I would agree with that. But there are definitely more than one way that this could go, because when you have this kind of intangible aspect to it, like Brian Daigle was talking about, 48 hours ago he was suiting up, he was a lily white, and now he's wearing black and yellow. He might have a little chip on his shoulder, because, listen, he's been living off that one good season for quite a while now. We've been wanting to get rid of him. And at the start of the window, the rumor was that we were trying to get 30 million euro for him from Napoli. So for us to move him on to Watford, in the Premier League for £3 million just to get his wages off the bill, if I was a professional, I'd probably look at that and say I'm a little bit insulted by that. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of extra motivation for him. But he is a footballer who is limited by his ability. Let's be honest. I don't think we have to worry about it. But wouldn't it just be the most Spursy Tottenham thing ever if Moussa Sissoko scored an absolute screamer today? But I think good for him. I certainly hope that him and Danny Rose both get a warm welcome. It's one thing to criticize a player while they're here, but once they're out the door, we only look back through rose-colored glasses and remember the good things that we did for him. And Moussa Sissoko was a key part of that team that made it to the Champions League final. I do wish him all the best. I'm certainly glad that he's gone, but let's not be too unkind to him. But it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, look, I definitely wish him the best. Look, he gave me great memories on the run to the Champions League final and that. But look, at the end of the day, he's more of a track and field star than he is a footballer. I bet you he'll relish going to the West Ham ground so he can run around, the running track around the ground. You know what I mean? That's the only way he's going to get, a standing ovation off the fans. But look, guys, next question I do want to ask you is, the inclusion of Tanganga and Skip, since they've come in, it's like they've done something to this squad. It's like they put a witch a witch doctor on it, some sort of spell, guys, because you know their passion, their love for the club, their desire for 3 points, and a desire to play week in, week out. You know, probably, do you think it's given the rest of the squad maybe a bit of a kick up the ass? Because these guys have come in and they've really been really aggressive, and they've been a massive part to us getting the 3 points against City and 3 points against Wolves.
Tony, you want to go first or shall I?
You go ahead.
Okay, so talking with Skip first, I mean, the answer to the question is 100% yes. There is most definitely something they've done. I want to go back to what Cody was saying about Skip picking up Sanchez's and Dyer's problems. So this is the thing. That's kind of what we're asking him to do. And the reason we were so bad last season with these two is because Højbjerg was doing the man of 5 people. So literally having Skip there has allowed people to, don't get me wrong, Skip and Sanchez and Dyer make way too many mistakes individually, and Skip is, but that's kind of what that second defensive midfielder is there to do.
Yeah.
Skip, we always knew was a talent. We always knew. I mean, Pochettino saw it. Mourinho harped on about it. I think this loan move for him has done the absolute world of good for him, and he is a future England player. Probably, I'm putting an outside bet on that he'll make it to the World Cup if he carries on and doesn't get an injury. That's how impressed I am with him. Tanganga, like we all know, there's a star there. I've harped on about it. I didn't want him to go on loan. He is a superstar, and the thing is, I still say that he's a centre back, and if he's playing this well at right back, and this is why I think we talk about this 3 million that we got for. To what I want to see now is Tomiyasu coming, because it was only 2 million. We need to get him in and literally have the flexibility to, because we also got to remember Tanganga's quite injury prone, and we need to wrap him up in cotton wool. And if we don't get another right back in, we go back to Doherty and Aurier if he's still here. So that area needs to be addressed. And then obviously if we go to a back three, then I see Tanganga right-sided centre back all day long. That's like my perfect position for him. So we need to get another right back in, but there's no doubt, like when you bring in the youngsters, they always have a little bit. David, you and me were saying it on your shows at the end of the season when we got knocked out of the Europa. It was like, just bring all the youngsters in. That's what we want to see. Yeah. Bring in Scarlett, because there's nothing that could go worse. Bring them on. They always add that little bit. They'll fight for the shirt. They'll give the passion. They know what the badge means, and these two have just shown it. If you're young, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter about your age. Just whack them in, and they have been outstanding.
Yeah, it's that old saying, Brian, if you're good enough, you're old enough. I couldn't agree with it more.
That's the one I was looking for. I was about to say, if you're good enough, you're young enough. I was like, wait a minute, that's not really... Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No worries, Brian. I got you covered. Don't worry about that. And then we have Will Stewart. He also says there's a lot of ugly going on in this tag team on the right. Big up, Will. I hope things are good with you, my man. But look, Cody, same question to you, man. And then, look, I know you have to jog off there. So, you have to feed the kids before the match starts. You don't want them going hungry. So, look, give us a score prediction as well off the back of your comments on that, and maybe a little line to get us all pumped up before you leave. And it's a lovely beard you have today.
Yeah, so on Skip and Tanganga, I think, first of all, they've been immense these first 2 weeks. Both of them have played really well, despite Tanganga getting turned around a few times against Traore, who, let's face it, Traore can do that to the best right backs in the league. Yeah. So I don't think that there's any shame in that. They can quite possibly be the X factor in whether or not we go into this season with an improved squad or not. Because if they can maintain that level of play, then that's two members of the starting 11 that we've improved upon. It's asking a lot for a couple of very young players. And especially like Tanganga, we've seen in the past how injury prone he can be. And of course, like you would want him to remain healthy. But he looks like he's really starting to blossom into that role of right back. And we have to give Jose Mourinho some credit, because when he got moved to right back under Jose, a lot of people questioned whether or not he would be best suited playing his natural position at center back. But he is adapting well. And he's even starting to show a little bit more going forward in terms of being able to cross the ball into dangerous places and whatnot. So I still do think, I agree with Brian that it's a position that we need to address. Tomiyasu would be, I think, an excellent utility option in that he can play both center back and right back. So we'll have to see. it's just asking so much of a couple of kids, but long may it continue. As far as a score prediction, I don't think Watford are going to be a pushover today. Um, it'll be interesting to see because we saw how, like as much as Wolves didn't have like that many clear-cut chances last week, and we seemed to have the more quality chances, we did play on our back heels quite a bit. So, with Watford being a newly promoted side, you would like to see us play with a little bit more attacking intent because that's 2 games in a row in the Premier League that we've been not suffocated, but definitely a little bit more defensive than you would like to see. There was a lot of people, reminiscing about Jose Ball last week when we snuck out the 3 points out of the Molineux. But I think it will be a tight game. There's never an easy game in the Premier League. I'm going to go with a 1-0 finish. 3 goals, 3 wins, 9 points, and 3 clean sheets, and we'll be top table looking down at Arsenal. Which, by the way, I know you addressed this at the beginning, and I do have to go, but can we just take a second to admire the state of this football club? I mean, if you go, every single team in the championship has at least 1 point, and if you take all of the English football teams, all 92 teams, Arsenal would be dead last on goal difference with 0 points. So, I mean, it's just long may it continue. Arteta, Lego head, Arteta N, trust the process. It doesn't get any better.
When you get Mesut Ozil also spamming them, mate, that just says it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys seen the Borat meme this morning? So it's that one scene where he's talking about his neighbor. So Borat's face is covered by the Norwich City logo, and there's the Arsenal logo on the neighbor's house, and it says, "This is Arsenal. He is pain in my assholes. I lose 5-0 against Man City. He loses 5-0 against Man City. I win League Cup match 6-0. He wins League Cup match 6-0. I score in the Premier League. He cannot score in the Premier League. Great success."
Absolutely love it. That's brilliant. I love a bit of Borat as well. But look, Cody, maybe give us a little pump up line before we let you go, my man.
Listen, I know I'm predicting a 1-0 scoreline, and I agree with Brian. I think Bergwijn is the man to put it in the back of the net. But it wouldn't be surprising if Harry Kane came out with a fire under his ass and put a brace in today. I'll be going absolutely apeshit if it happens. Let's take care of business here. Let's be honest. We've got the home crowd behind us. There's no reason that we shouldn't be going and getting 3 points. Let's suffocate the opposition. Let's show the rest of the Premier League that we're not going to be playing on the back heel the whole time. And yeah, absolutely. The return of the king. Absolutely the return of the king. So looking forward to it. We'll be top table by the end of the day, and we'll be looking as far down with our binoculars if we can see Arsenal way down at the bottom. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's go. Absolutely love it, Cody. Thank you so much for giving up your time and coming on, my man. I really appreciate it. Look, we do have 10 minutes left in the stream. So, Brian, I'm going to get your score prediction, a quick pump-up line as well, and then we're going to get Jack on for the last 10 minutes. So, Brian,
okay, sure.
And also give your channel a quick plug as well, my man.
Yeah, so I'll do the channel very quickly. It's called Tottenham on Tour. We've just started on YouTube. We've done a few videos, but most importantly, what you got to do is like and share the incredible boys that We Are Tottenham TV that always give you unlimited and unrivaled coverage of everything. They are the greatest. They are the greatest support to everyone as well. So that's the main people you got to love. Obviously yourself as well, David. So I was saying 2-0 with Bergwijn to score both, and that was before we saw the best striker in the world come in. So I'm going to go opposite of Cody and say I'm going to go very, very aggressive. And I'm going to go for 4-0 now. 2 for Bergwijn, 2 for Kane. So that's, let's see. I mean, hopefully, did you say Ben's at the game or Simeon's at the game?
Ben's in the studio, Sim's at the game.
Okay, so hopefully Sim knows the chant that me, him and Ben are trying to get going for the one and only Terminator. So I'll finish with the Pierre-Emile song, which is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, you are the love of my life, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I let you shack my wife, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Wish I was Danish too. Get that singing, Ben. We got to get that going because that man deserves a goddamn song. 4-0. Come on, you Spurs. Levy out.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Brian, for coming on today. Appreciate you.
Anytime, brother.
Brilliant.
See you later, guys.
See you, my man. And look, let's waste no time. Let's get Jacko on for the next 7-8 minutes. I do want to get his thoughts as well. Just quickly, Josh King Coys with the super chat says, big up, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Great stream. Also, DM me any streams for the game, people in the chat, please. Big up, Josh. I hope things are well with you, my man. I appreciate the kind words. Faz Radfar says, asked, discuss, Arsenal, reply, there is no point. No, of course there's not. Of course they're not. They're all sitting there crying. And we have Graham Harris says, I watch on Optus Sport. I hope, great last name. I hope you're not a relation to my man, a relation that I don't know about. But look, let's bring on Jack Kanicki here for the last few minutes of the show. Jack, my man, how are you?
Keeping really well, David. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. And look, I want to get your quick thoughts on the starting lineup here. Of course, Larissa goes, Tanganga right back, Regular at left back like we expected. But one thing we were thinking was maybe Romero coming in, but it doesn't happen. Dyron Sanchez of the partnership. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is, the saying goes, David, like you said, and maybe I am a bit disappointed to see Romero maybe omitted from the lineup. But at the same time, Moon Boots and Sanchez have been honestly incredible this season. I have to admit, it pains me and it pains both of us to admit it, but they've honestly been sensational. I think it does make sense to maybe continue the form. Probably dropping them is a bit unfair. So maybe if Romero were to make it into the lineup, maybe we would have had to have gone for like a back three, back five kind of scenario. So to be honest, David, it does make sense that this was maybe the partnership for tonight. But Bergwijn on the right, I would say, is a bit of a surprise considering, he's played on the left for the majority of this season. Obviously, he played for the right for us last season, but that was kind of when we didn't really see the best of Bergwijn. So we'll be interested to see how he comes off the right this season, considering that Lucas has been, the one that's been very skillful at cutting inside off the right. Maybe Bergwijn will just be asked to run in behind, receive the balls, in over the top from the Don, when he drops deep. But it's hard to say, David, with Bergwijn coming in off the right.
No, it is. Look, he's more comfortable on the left, but look, we definitely hope he produces for us today. Chance to go at top of the league, of course. But Jack, the main man himself, the Don, Harry Kane, he's back. Are you as excited as I am? Look, I suppose there's no one excited as me. But look, are you nearly as excited as me?
Trying to be, David. Absolutely trying to be. I mean, especially, making the animations last night on Stats with Jack on the Irish Hotspur, is honestly sensational to make the, the Harry Kane dropping deep into the, the center back positions, dropping deep into the midfield, asking for the ball from Moon Boots, and then pinging it in behind for Bergwijn or Sonny. Honestly, it brought a bit of a tear to my eye to make those animations, David, because it just, brought us back to last season and what he was able to do for us. And now that he's going to be able to do it for Nuno, honestly, David, it's going to be insane considering how good we've started without Harry Kane. Now that we're bringing back in the Don, the one that will link up all the play, I don't know if there's anybody that's going to stop us, David, especially if we were to win today.
No, I fully agree. And look, for me, it's great to have him back. And I'd say to everybody, enjoy it, cherish it, let past be past. And, just move on with it and enjoy it because, look, we don't know whether he's going to be here to January, whether he's here for the full season, how long he's going to be here beyond that. So I just say to everybody to enjoy it. Ribsy85 with the super chat. Big up my brother down in Australia as well. A lot of Australians on here today. I'm absolutely loving it. And he says, if Sanchez's improvement is off the back of the confidence from the Copa, dropping him could be what breaks it. Ride the wave until while he's kicking ass. Yeah, look, I couldn't agree any more with that. I couldn't agree more with that. Look, me, I just want to see Romero. I just love the guy. I think after watching him Thursday, the way he likes to get forward, how aggressive he is. And look, I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you why me and Jack want to see Romero. It's all right. You have Tanganga at right back. We wanted Romero at right centre back. Then you have Højbjerg and Skip. Højbjerg on the right side of the tree and Skip as the holding. So we like to call that the blood diamond. If you find yourself in between that, you're getting sandwiched by all four of our hardest men. So that's why we wanted to see him, Ribsy. But no, I fully take your point, my man, and I agree. Look, if it's not broken, don't fix it. 100%. It was just more on a selfish point of view that I wanted to see, Romero today. But Jack, one player for us that has to have a huge game to stop, Watford's probably, I would say, more or less only threat is Reguilon. Look, Sarr doesn't track back. He doesn't like to track back, but we also know that Reguilon likes to get forward. So if you're Nuno, what do you be saying to Reguilon today? Do you say maybe, look, just hang back, or do you get Dyer to come out and cover his ass?
This one's going to be a bit tricky, Dave, especially since Sissoko is coming in for Cleverly, and Cleverly was, going to be the guy that probably was going to be playing in, those balls in behind for Sarr, was probably going to be the creative, force in the midfield to give it to Sarr. So it is a bit interesting to see, Musa come in. So I think the midfield three is Atebo, Musa, and Kuchka. Those are both
Oh,
three hard men,
back in.
kind of midfield. Three hard men midfielders that I would say are not very technically good, but you will say like those guys all can put in crunching tackles. They're all fully capable of being very, very, very difficult to maybe play through, I would say, just because they're all huge, very strong men. So will be, be more of a midfield battle than we thought it would be, where we
Yeah.
thought we would win the physical side. I would say for this game, actually, maybe Watford are backing themselves to win the physical side of the midfield. I still think we can win it, but they're definitely going for a more harder man midfield. And that probably means then that Sarr, David, will probably not be tracking back even more. He'll probably just be sitting right next to maybe the striker. I think they're even putting Dennis out left, as well. He's not even starting up top. So Dennis is going to be their left winger. It's all very different to maybe what we actually anticipated from Watford. So I would say Reguilón, to answer your question, David, he's going to have to be actually a bit more careful than we thought he was going to need to be, now that, Sarr, I think, is going to be backed up by Cathcart and Musa Sissoko. Musa Sissoko probably will help out the right back a lot with Sonny and Reguilón going down that side. So I think Reguilón's going to have to be a bit careful, I will say.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, how do you feel about Musa Sissoko running around, for the Hornets?
I don't know. It's hard to say, Dave, considering that, I think it's a clever move maybe made by the manager, considering I don't really rate Cleverly. So to see maybe them go with three hard men midfielders is actually, it's not going to be pretty to watch. I mean, that's for sure, but it will be definitely interesting for how we're going to break that down, just because I know Cleverly was going to be the one that we would target, in the midfield, the one that we would try to play through, the one we would try to, maybe kind of tire out easily. But in the case of Musa now, Kuchka, and Atebo, it's going to be very hard to break them down. So I will say it's a tough one, Dave. It's a tough one. I think we're definitely going to, see maybe the better version of Musa that we haven't seen in a while, but I still think we're going to run all over him.
No, 100%. I definitely agree with that. Look, Harry Kane is there to get rid of the Hornets. Well, Hornets, a nest at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today, Jack. So don't worry about that. But look, Jacko, we are going to have to end it off. So I do want to know where people can find you, and I want your score prediction, and I want a good pump up line before you go, man.
Definitely, Davo. People can find me over at Flat Cap Euro Talk, that David and I's second channel from the Irish Hotspur. Especially if you're new to the Irish Hotspur, please check out the Irish Hotspur. After you're done, checking out everything we have over there. If you're still not satisfied, head on over to the second channel. It's where you're able to find anything that's outside of Spurs, everything from, the new transfers coming up, a bit of some predictions, for all of Europe's top 5 leagues, young talents, everything that, a bit of FIFA that's coming up as well. So basically everything that's, outside the Irish Hotspur, everything that's outside Spurs for the Irish Hotspur content, you'll find it on over at the second channel, Flat Cap Euro Talk. We've only been around, I think, for like a week and a half, David, and we're at 202 subscribers. It's insane. Honestly, the Harris Army knows how to blow everything up. So please, if you're new, if you haven't heard of it yet, Flat Cap Euro Talk, we would definitely appreciate a subscribe.
No, 100%. Jacko, can you hear me? I'm frozen.
I can still hear you, David.
Okay, perfect. No, perfect. Well, look, everybody do get over and check out, the Flat Cap Euro Talk. But look, Jack, give me your score prediction and a quick pump-up line.
I think it's going to be a 3-0, but, now with Musa come in, Dave, I think it's going to have to be, sadly, a 2-0. It's not going to be, I think, as easy to run all over them as before. But that being said, like David was saying, and I'm going to reemphasize it, it's almost like a Bermuda Triangle. It can also be a blood diamond. For today, it's going to be your Bermuda Triangle between Skippy, Højbjerg, and Tanganga. I mean, I don't know which one you would rather receive a crunching tackle from. To be honest, I'd probably just ask, the manager, just play me in the next game. It's not really, this is not the one meant for me, especially because I am a bit more frail. I would say down there, I probably wouldn't like some of those tackles. So honestly, guys, I mean, just get ready for that. That's my pump up, is get ready for the Bermuda Triangle of hard-nosed defenders that we have on that right-hand side for us. And then when Romero comes in, like David was saying, it would be turned into a blood diamond, where honestly, no one will honestly want to go down that left-hand side for the opposing team. It probably will just be avoided entirely. It's like a street you never want to walk down, Dave.
No, 100% it is. But big up, Jack. I really do appreciate you giving up your time, man. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.
And Nuno, we trust, everybody. Come on, you Spurs.
Nuno, we trust. Big up, Jack. Well, look, guys, we are going to end it here. You know, massive thank you to the guests for coming on and sharing your opinions. A massive thank you to all the super chatters for your support for the show and channel. A massive thank you to you, the We Are Tottenham TV Army and the Harris Army for collabing and coming together for tuning in. A massive thank you to Sim and Ben and the production team as well for making this show happen and giving me the opportunity. Make sure you do smash that like. Make sure you smash the subscribe on the channel as well if you're new. Also, you know, make sure you stay tuned for the watch along, guys, starting in about 5 to 10 minutes time. Make sure you stay tuned where Ben will be bringing you everything you need to know for that as well. And guys, look, for me, I'm going to go with a 3-0 score prediction, guys. Get your score predictions in. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go Harry Kane with a brace, some with 2. I'm already on the Lucas head. I hope Kane is too. We're going top of the league, baby. Let's have it. Watford, you're going down. We're going to take the Hornets' nest out of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we're rising to the very top. It's a new dawn. It's a new era. Nuno's in charge. Let's see what can happen. Let's make it 3 from 3, 9 points from 9. Let's make it 3 clean sheets. Let's have it. Come on, you Spurs. In Nuno we trust. And up the We Are Tottenham TV Army.